This is probably my most requested video yet. So today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of UNR. As always, let's start off with the cons. So I'd say the location is good and bad. It's located in downtown Reno, which Reno already is just very known for being a very gambly city. There's so much that goes down. I feel like everyone's just doing their own thing. Overall, the campus is really safe. I love the campus, so peaceful. I know in a lot of schools, it's very common for people to just be content creators and filming in like the bigger schools, but Reno's more low-key. I know that when I'd be filming on campus, I'd feel like I'd be the only one because nobody really does that, which is also why I got into content creation, because I was like, nobody's showing off Reno, nobody's putting themselves out there here, and nobody really shows what Reno has to offer. A lot of people say, oh my god, like there's nothing to do in Reno, it's so boring here, but I feel like there is so much to do. It's just not shown, or people just like, they like to see the negative sides of it rather than just focus on like the good stuff. I feel like people don't really see the positive side of it. They kind of just like lean towards, oh, Reno this, Reno that. So yeah. Another con is the expensive parking passes and the lack of parking the campus offers. If you bring your car, there is very limited parking. My first year, I did not bring a car, so I didn't really struggle with that. But my friends had parking passes, and the closest lots to the dorms would be mostly full. They'd have to park elsewhere. Parking in the streets, not really safe. And yeah, I just think that they just need more parking spots. And the prices are outrageous, especially if you're commuting. Having to pay a parking pass, like a whole separate parking pass, is just crazy, which I think should be included in the tuition, but you know. This is a con for me, or I guess it was a con for me. The dorm I got, since I chose UNR very last minute, I got like one of the oldest dorms. It's called Nye Hall, so if you have the option to avoid it, please do, because it honestly just gave like prison cell vibes. It was dark. It was very hot in there, no AC. The elevators for the first few months were not working, and I lived on the 7th floor. So having to go up and down constantly was just not fun. But don't get me wrong, they have some nice dorms. I just was not lucky. So the campus is on like it's kind of downhill. It's downtown Reno, and then like campus goes down. So you have to walk up and down the campus if you have far classes, and there's just a lot of like uphill walking. There is like a few main stairs on campus which just really take you out because it's like just so high. So another con, this could be a controversial statement, but we get all 4 seasons, and I love the snow, love summer, love it, but I don't think I thought it through that we'd get literally all 4 seasons. Wintertime, I was so seasonally depressed. If you don't know how to ski or snowboard, it's just kind of sad because I was just on campus, so I just didn't have anything to do. Most of the times it was just so cold, I didn't even want to go outside. And then I got really sick, like really, really sick. That's another thing. It's like you're in close corners with so many people living on campus, and sicknesses spread so fast. I got strep, frat flu, all of it. It was just so bad. But yeah, seasonal depression really got to me. That's something you really have to think about before committing. It's like you're getting really all 4 seasons. Winter just feels the longest. And then springtime comes and then it's all fun. Not really, because it could be springtime and then all of a sudden Reno weather, it's like sunny in the morning and then it starts raining and then it's sunny again. Raining in the morning and then it's all sunny, you know? So the weather is just weird. Another thing, I did mention this in my video, but food options. There's schools that have like Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, big food chains on campus. We don't really have that. We recently got Taco Bell. We have Starbucks. We have Pan Express, taco places. but we only have one dining hall. So if you're on the meal plan, you can only get like one meal trade, which is just like you get a meal from like a chain shop from like a select menu that's on the meal trade in exchange for a swipe, or you can get a swipe into the dining hall for like all you can eat. But there is only one dining hall, and sometimes the dining hall food is like not good. It kind of just sucks because you could be like, I don't know, in the middle of campus and you're hungry, but you got to walk all the way to another side of campus because there's not a lot of food spots. No, there's not a variety, which I get because it's like a mid-sized school. That one dining hall doesn't really do it. The food is good at first and then mid at most. And they have their basic like bagels and salad bar and sandwich bar and different little food spots. Like they have street food section, Korean food section, and then dessert bar and all of that. But I don't know, you get really tired really fast. And the fact that there's only one meal trade is kind of annoying. But then again, in the meal plan, you have like $200 in food bucks to spend. So you could use those $200 on campus for like whatever you want. Let's say you want a coffee every morning. You got $200 to do that. I think it's $200. I don't remember. The thing about the dining hall and all of that, it's just like on weekends, it's not really open, like very weird times, like on Saturdays and Sundays for the food spots to be open. There's only very select few open on the weekends, and then the dining hall's open every single day, but the hours on the weekends are weird. So like if you don't wake up or don't go to the dining hall by like 11 to 1, you don't eat until 5, and then like it closes at like 7 or 8. I think. Another con is getting groceries. Like there's not a grocery store on campus like other schools. Some schools I've seen have grocery stores on campus, but for UNR, you need to have a car. Closest grocery stores are like 15 minutes away driving. Well, they have pack rides, which is included in your tuition, which is basically like a transportation system that takes you to and from the grocery store. But there's only like select grocery stores it takes you to. So if those don't fit your needs, you might need to have a car to get your groceries. Another thing, this is kind of just like a general college issue. It's like if you're used to living alone for a while, you need to kind of get unused to that. Because if you're dorming, there's gonna be someone there all the time. Although UNR does offer a lot of networking opportunities, it can be kind of limited at times compared to bigger cities like LA, San Francisco, and other bigger cities like New York. UNR kind of feels like very limited within the networking opportunities, and sometimes it could feel like you could only go so far within Reno. So I'd say that's another con. Okay, let's move on to the pros. So my first pro is my very favorite pro, and it's that in your tuition, you get an iPad. I have my iPad right here. I love it so much. It's like the best thing in the world. In your tuition, you also get, how I mentioned, the pack rides. We were also supposed to get like a welcome back concert where we're going to have Annalie Chapa, but apparently he was injured. Included in your tuition is also the student health center. You can get all your free needs, pretty basic checkups if you have a headache or things like that. It's pretty beneficial to have on campus. I believe you can also get your flu shots there. Another pro is the community aspect to the school. It's a medium-sized school, so it's pretty much a big community. If you ask upperclassmen like, oh, what's the best professor to take for this class or this class, they will tell you. And also, most of the professors are really good. This could be like a pro or con, however you see it, but it's a pretty big party school, very much going out school. If you're into that, that's like one of the most popular things there. There's clubs and fun activities, but most activities are driving distance, not like walking distance. And UNR is very much a party school. Frats throw a lot. We don't really have a lot of fraternities and sororities like bigger schools, but we do have a good amount. And if you do rush, that's a big community in itself. I would describe the campus vibe as fall. Like if fall was a school, I think it would be UNR because it's just like the brick vibes and everything. It's just so fall. But the campus is a huge pro. There's a lake, and I just love walking by the lake on my way to classes. Yeah, I just love it. So another pro is the housing options nearby are really good. The apartments there that are like all nearby on campus are like so nice, and they're all walking distance from the school. Another pro is that living in the dorms, there was a lot of like socials and just activities within that dorm. And then you get residential hall mentors, which kind of like help you with your classes. That's a big pro. I definitely use that because sometimes you want assistance over the weekends or something, and then, the tutoring center isn't open, so that's very much a good benefit, and you should definitely use the resources. Adding on to that, there is so many resources on campus to help you succeed. There's the counseling center, there's disability resource center, I mentioned the student health center, tutoring center, study sessions held before exams for math exams. There's just so much support on campus. There's also like PAC resources. Is that what it's called? It's basically a little shop where if you can't afford your groceries or small needs, hygienic utilities, anything like that, you go into this little store, you just use your campus card, swipe in, and you get to take anything you need. So I think that's such a big resource, especially being a broke college student. Having that on campus and available for students is like a really, really big and important thing. Another pro is that we do have football games. Our school is D1, so we have really big tailgates. The rivalry between UNLV and UNR is huge. So around those times, there's just so much going on. We have like so much traditions actually. It's like Pack Wolf It Down where you eat like pancakes at midnight and they have this huge event. We have like Coffin and Keys, which is like, it's kind of like a frat, but they're like anonymous and it's like a fun little thing they do. They're kind of like a journalism kind of frat group that's anonymous. I think we're like the only school that has that. So that's really cool. Along with that, there's a lot of career fairs, networking events. That's a really big pro, especially if you're looking to get a job in college or get an internship. I feel like there's so much resources on campus to help you with that. Another pro is the library and the gym. The gym is huge. There's so much to do in the gym. I took gymnastics and Pilates and yoga and all of that. Things that like I don't have to spend money on memberships for because it's all included in my tuition, which I thought is great. And for like the library, that's a huge pro. There's so many floors. Like I'd say the 5th floor is the quiet floor where like you can't talk. So it's just quiet and it's perfect for studying. And the 1st floor, there's like a media room where you can make podcasts, virtual reality, so much more. I'm not really familiar with everything, but I know there's that. So there's just so much stuff on campus available for students, which is really cool. There's also like makerspace where you can embroider stuff, use Cricut machines, laser cutters, 3D printing, literally everything. They have it. So it's really cool that all of this is available and free to students. Another pro, at least for me, was that I was a business major and I'm very much hands-on. So the classes I took, like entrepreneurship, was very, very hands-on. And we got to even make our own business and see how that worked. Another pro I'd say is Greek life. Greek life is so close, so tight-knit. It's a cute little community. Everyone kind of knows everyone. So we all support each other's philanthropy. Okay, guys, another pro is that UNR offers Nevada Fit and Nevada Bound, which is a great opportunity to meet new people beforehand and before school starts. So Nevada Bound is kind of like an orientation, and then Nevada Fit is a week-paced kind of course. You get to meet new people and get the feel of a college schedule without it being serious. It does count as a credit. It is kind of serious, but You get to meet new people, get the feel before college actually starts. And so once it actually starts, you're kind of used to the pace. The days are really long, but honestly, it's not that bad. You get really close. This is how I met some of my closest friends. Another pro is that it is so close to Lake Tahoe. So for the winter, being close to Lake Tahoe, you can go down and ski or snowboard. And then for the summer, you can go down to the lake and swim and have lake days. So that's a huge pro. Another pro is that a lot of things are walking distance. Even though not like big grocery stores, there is stuff that is walking distance, and public transportation is free for students. So that's also a pro. Oh yeah, another pro is the new business building. I think that that's going to be a big push. I know I said location was a con, but the pro is that it is a college town. Anywhere you go, there's basically a student discount, bars downtown. Like, all the local businesses are just so supportive to UNR. Again, it's very much a party school, and so there's a lot of social life. There's so much to do to make new friends, meet new people, and all of that. And another pro is the amount of clubs there is. There is so many clubs. You can literally find a club for anything. And if not, you can make one. But I'd say they have a very diverse selection of clubs and organizations. And there's just so much that you can get involved in. Now I'm going to read off some questions. Someone asked, how supportive are the tutors on campus? Tutors on campus are very supportive. Usually they're students and they've probably gone through the same class that you have. So they're very lenient, very nice, supportive, and very helpful. I've used them quite a lot this semester and they were so helpful. I'd say the best way to make friends and meet new people is to put yourself out there, join clubs, join organizations, and try to go to as many events as possible and talk to people. I feel like for most of my friendships, I was the one that talked first, which is okay because I just kind of put myself out there. Going into college, I'm like, I know nobody here, especially going out of state. Like, literally, I was just like dropped off to college and I was like, okay, now what? I was just like standing there, and so I had to put myself out there and just talk to people. I'd say yes. Greek life is worth it if what you're trying to get out of is a friendship, a place that feels like home, away from home. And just like if you want to have built-in friends that you see all the time and that you get to hang out with and do fun events with. A lot of people say like you're paying for friends, but you're actually paying for things to do with your friends. Yes, they're so fun because it's so fun to see everyone come together and show school spirit. I love to dress up, love the tailgates, love it all. Yeah, I'd say they were really fun. What dorm buildings are the best? I'd say Peavine, Great Basin, Canada. I'd say they're one of the best. Canada has a communal kitchen, and then Great Basin are like suites, so you get 4 roommates, or you get 3 roommates other than yourself, but you only live with another person, and then there's like a room connected, and then you guys all share one bathroom and one shower. So the living situation is pretty good. They also asked if I felt safe, and I did. Felt really safe being on campus. If you don't, there's like emergency buttons all around campus if you don't feel safe. There's also like campus police and other stuff to ensure your safety. But overall, I'd say I felt pretty safe. I'd say some advice to incoming students that are going into UNR are putting yourself out there, branching out, and meeting new people. If you are coming down with some of your friends, make sure to be open-minded about making new friends because you're going to college and you want to get the most out of it. And that also means meeting new people and branching out. Another thing is go out of your comfort zone. Sometimes it's hard to do that event, go to that game, or just being social, but I'd say putting yourself out there is key. Another piece of advice I have for you guys is to get to know your professors and they'll get to know you. That way, if you're ever in a situation where you can't turn in your homework or anything, they know what's going on. They'll be more flexible. Rather, if they don't know you, they don't know if you're lying or not, or just things like that. I'd really recommend getting to know your professors. Along with that, I'd recommend making a couple of friends in each class you have, just so that you have someone to ask if you're not there for one class. Have someone to ask for notes, information, or anything that the teacher might have said that you might have missed. Another question I got was, how was it living in the sorority house? And honestly, it was so good. It was much cheaper than the dorms, and you get 3 meals a day for 5 days a week, which is really good. And you have a chef, and you don't have to worry about cleaning your own bathroom, getting your own toilet paper, whatever. You just don't have to worry about those little costs. It's so much more cost efficient, and you get to see people all the time, so you're not really alone. I'd really recommend living in your sorority house if you have the chance to. I was so lucky enough to be able to live in as a freshman. So that was such a big pro. One thing I wish I knew before coming to UNR is to bring so much basic sets, basic sweatpants, basic hoodies. Going to class, nobody really dresses up. Weekends, if you're going out, bring going out tops or going out clothes that you don't mind getting dirty. Just be mindful of the all four seasons. So you're gonna want good flip-flop or Birkenstocks, your Crocs for the summer, and then tennis shoes to walk around campus, interview clothes. One tip on balancing school and social life, I'd say, is to stay organized, have a calendar or have a system. Make sure you know how you work best. Once you have a system, have your priorities set, and I'd say you'll be okay. Obviously, the first semester adjusting is really hard, but as long as you stay true to your priorities, you should be good. If you guys have any more questions or anything you guys want me to answer, make sure to comment down below and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more.